When we talk about ancient Indian education, the first question that comes to our mind is, what is Indian education, or what characterizes Indian education? So every civilization has some unique characteristics that define the kind of education, the kind of economy, the kind of society that flourish in that civilization. When you ask yourself what is unique about Indian education, you're also asking what is unique about Indian civilization and about the way that you look at humans in general. So, because of the peculiarity of Indian civilization, in the sense that there was an emphasis on the spiritual development of the self, and the ultimate knowledge was considered to be the knowledge of the self. That feature of Indian civilization impacted every domain of society, whether it was education, or it was polity, or it was economy. In education, this emphasis on spirit as the true shaping reality of man, this gave Indian education a color that was unique in itself. So if somebody asks you what is unique about Indian education, the starting point is that the emphasis is on the spiritual development of the self, which was not found in other education systems at that time. Now, how does this translate into practice, and what does this mean for our pedagogy and for our methods of teaching? So when the ancient Indian education thinkers, when they started conceiving this system, they had in mind that the purpose of education, first of all, the fundamental purpose is to strengthen our instruments of learning. The fundamental purpose of education, when you define education, what do you define as the fundamental purpose? It is not to acquire so much information. The fundamental purpose of education, as ancient Indian thinkers conceived it, was to strengthen your instruments of learning. The instruments of learning are body and mind and nerves and vitality. So when you strengthen your instruments of learning, then you can acquire information and you can know how to use that information properly. So to see and hear better, desire better, purer, finer and deeper. To form and mold the mind which receives, processes and analyzes all information. So this was, I think, a very fundamental aspect of the purpose of Indian education, because unless you purify the instrument of learning, you cannot do much if you don't have that purity in the instrument itself. Like, for example, if you have a pot and in the pot you want to pour ghee. Now, if the pot is, let's say, it is dirty or it is broken or it is impure, then no matter how much ghee you pour into it, when you will take out, it will be impure. No matter how large that pot is or how much volume of ghee you pour into that pot. So similarly, the pot is like the mind. So unless the mind itself is pure, and the mind itself is, when I say pure, I mean in terms of from a spiritual point of view, from the fact that the consciousness is pure, so you can perceive things clearly. So when the mind is pure, then the information that is received as it is. You're able to see things as they are. You're able to analyze things as they are. You're able to process things as they are. The information comes unfiltered to the mind, and the mind processes them unfiltered. Otherwise, what happens is, if the mind is not pure, the information that is given to the mind becomes filtered information, and the output is also filtered output. So you don't achieve the desired results, and then there is confusion and lack of clarity and lack of desired objectives. So this emphasis on the purity of the instrument was given in Indian education right from the beginning itself, because it was understood that only with a pure mind you can do anything Any work you can do only if the mind is pure. So first you have to purify the instrument of learning, then you will be able to learn or teach. If you acquire any information, it will only be acquired properly if the mind and instrument is clear. And ultimately the purpose of education was yoga, and which is chitta vritti nirodha, which means suspension of mental activities in the consciousness, at the level of the consciousness, to purify the consciousness.